Aaron Cameron with his first pole position.
Aaron Cameron has started the weekend superbly. From pole position to race win at the mountain. Great job. It's a ripping start by Aaron Cameron, who will lead them to turn one for the first time.
Today, it's another victory. Aaron Cameron wins here on the mountain.
He'll be hoping he can do that in a supercar, but those were some of the highlights for our feature team. But let's go with a few more of his, shall we? Because he's got a stack. He's a two-time S5000 champion, and in his first year in Super 2, he finished second in the championship with 2 race wins, 4 podiums, and 2 Boost mobile poles. He's now a full-time driver for the Blanchard Racing Team. Please welcome back to the driver's seat, Aaron Cameron. Welcome back.
Thank you. Geez, that's a pretty cool intro. Thanks for that. Nice to get a few of them results out and remember what I've done so far. So hopefully there's plenty more to come.
Well, mate, this 2025 turned out a lot differently to what you originally planned because come January, you were actually in Dubai doing a fair bit of open wheelers at the start of the year.
Yeah, no, it was certainly a sort of a year of I didn't really know what I was doing, and then I got a call to go over to Dubai and Abu Dhabi and race open wheelers, and that was very different, a lot of fun, just a whole different sort of racing style and car to learn, and then I think I don't know what month it was after round one, I was like, oh, I might actually get what I really want here, which is to get into the main game of supercars.
And you obviously had that link with Blanchard Racing Team for your time there as a Coe last year during the Enduros. But now that you're a full-timer, at least for the time being, how's it been being in the fold? And is it much different to last year? Because you've been part of big family-run teams like obviously your history with GRM is pretty well documented. But what's it like being in that fold at BRT?
It's certainly different this year being the full-time driver. Last year as a co-driver, you sort of just you go with the flow and whatever the main driver wants they get, which is normal. And then this year you're getting into, and especially coming to sort of enduro time now, it's when I was say relaxing last year, now everything's determined about what I sort of think and what I can do in the car, and there's a lot more responsibilities on me getting the car up the front. So yeah, it's certainly a lot harder than I was probably expecting coming in. But it's been a hell of a journey this year from where we were in the first couple of rounds as a team, to then see everyone get better and better, and even my teammate James to get a podium was really cool, and seeing him step up once the cars have certainly got a lot better.
You also had a breakthrough top 10 as well at Kiwara and up in Queensland. And one of the things too that I think with the Blanchard Racing Team is a lot of people forget that it is a very new team. There's still a lot of people that are trying to feel themselves around and get into the groove of things. But it must be a real comfort having someone like James Courtney there as a teammate, especially since he's been in every garage almost at this point in time in his career, so he might just sort of like give you a bit of perspective on what it's like, because he's been at the back end of the town and same at the top end too. So, it's all ebbs and flows, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he can gives you a good perspective on when things aren't right and when they need to be better, or when they are right. Like recently, we've been better, and certainly some of the results he's got. I had to really get on my shit sorted, especially after Darwin, to once we had better car speed to start getting the better results. So Townsville and QR was certainly a lot better. Nice to get a top 10. It's a cool achievement. But then as soon as you get one of them, you want to keep pushing forward and try and obviously get more consistently up there. And then we all dream of one day getting a podium. So yeah, it's really cool. And then as you said about the young team, we don't have a hell of a lot of staff, and a lot of them are pretty new to the game. But yeah, for me, it's been a lot of fun. My engineer this year, Daniel Veronese, we've come up through since GRM days. We've sort of formulated a plan to get to the top together, and yeah, it's really exciting and cool that we've actually managed to make that happen.
You talk about your hunger for results there, because for those that might only know you from your supercars antics and not known, your resume outside. I mean, you did absolutely stellar in the Peugeot back at the old GRM TCR program that was going on. I mean, you finished runner-up at the inaugural season to Will Brown, who's now doing some great stuff in Supercars, as Supercars champion, and you were very regularly on the podium. You took that Peugeot to multiple top steps back in the day. So you know what it's like to have success. I mentioned your S5000 results. So when you do, jump in the car, and we all know how ultra competitive Supercars is. Did you think it was going to be this competitive?
I knew it was going to be tough, but didn't expect it to be this. Yeah, the level that they're at, and I probably had a couple of guys earmarked like, yep, the first round or a couple of rounds in, I'll have them dusted up and happy days. But yeah, no, the level of the whole Supercars field has really took me sort of by surprise. And then yeah, the qualifying gaps this year are it's just ridiculous. Like I think I was 4.5 tenths off in Darwin in qualifying, and I was like 22nd. And if you look at about the year before, 4.5 tenths off is at the back of the top 10. So it's incredible how good all of the teams are getting. And with this sort of Gen 3 spec car, how perfect everything has to be to really get the results and try and beat a team like, I guess, Triple Eight.
Yeah. And it's funny because we've seen a lot of people that have been really, really good in Super 2, like, Bryce Fullwood, even guys like Declan Fraser. We see what how dominant you can be in a Super 2 championship. Thomas Randall's someone else that also did really well in the second category. But then once you get up to main game, all of a sudden it's like, whoa, this is just completely out of the park. Like, sure, there's two different cars, but what did you notice were the two biggest things going from that Gen 2 Mustang to the Gen 3 one in main game? Was it the car, or was it was it having to relearn things there?
I actually really like the Gen 3 car to drive. I find it easier than the Gen 2 car. But I'd say when I got, let's just call it my pole laps at Bathurst last year in Adelaide in Super 2, I know the Bathurst one, there was a lot more in it, and I didn't push hard enough, so I was surprised to get pole. And then same with the Adelaide one, I think I locked a brake somewhere. But you do that, if you lock a brake or don't push hard enough in supercars, you'll last by 2 or 3 tenths. Like, the perfection that is required for a supercars qualifying session is, yeah, it's just incredible. And that's probably something that I've had to really step up this year over this year to try and get up there with them guys. Like, there's some real one lap sort of kings out there. And yeah, that's just the area that we've really highlighted as a need to focus on.
Yeah. And you talk about, that Gen 2 era versus the Gen 3 one. You're probably one of the few drivers I spoke to, because everyone seems to love that Gen 2 car. But yeah, it seems like taming this car seems to be something that a lot of people struggle with.
Yeah, I know a lot of other guys don't like it, but yeah, the Gen 2 car, I just found it very frustrating. In Super 2, you couldn't get within sort of 7 tenths of someone without a lot of aero wash, and once you're 7 tenths back, it's hard to pass, and you're just stuck there. And where the Gen 3, it's got rid of a lot of that, and you can sort of, at QR, we were sort of all following around that sort of 3 tenths mark during the races. And when you're only 3 tenths away from someone, if they do make a mistake, lock a brake or something, you can then make a move and get past them, type thing. So it's certainly still extremely difficult to pass, but I do feel like in Gen 2, the driver in front could still make a mistake and get away with it, where in Gen 3, it's not the case really anymore.
Yeah, and we've seen just how small some margins have been. It just literally comes down to like a chip wrapper between. But looking ahead towards the championship, you've got enduro season at the moment. You're teaming up with Zach Best, and it's funny because you look at the stat sheet, and Zach Best has actually got like more Bathurst 1000 starts than you have. So we've seen his track record. We know how good he is in a supercar. How have you guys have you had much to do? Have you gelled together? Any discussions about how you're going to tackle the bend and all the upcoming enduros?
Yeah, a little bit. Obviously, we spent the last sort of 2 months getting to know each other a bit more, and we've done the enduro test day, which was really good for him. He hasn't done a whole lot of laps this year, but yeah, we gave him a hell of a lot of race runs there, because that's his job, is to do the best job he can over a 20, 30 lap stint. Doesn't matter about what he can do over one lap. So yeah, we're really focused on getting all the technique back right again for him. And then I think, look, going to Talon Ben's bloody good for us because he's got a pole there previously in the main game, so as a wild card. So I don't really think there's a better co-driver I could have asked for. And yeah, it's a couple of young guys having a crack.
And he knows a few of the people in the team there because obviously he's driven from Tickford back in the day, and you got a fair few of the ex-Tickford staff at BOT. But I want to actually talk to you about some stuff that you do off track too, because you actually have your own karting team, and it seems like something that a lot of supercars drivers do when they sort of just try to put their knowledge over. Like JC had his own karting team. We've seen Nick Percat do that. Now yourself with Accelerate Motorsport. You got some very talented kids that are under your wing. Like, for example, young Hudson Hughes is one that's doing some great things. How do you go about mentoring that sort of next crop of talent? And is it easy, or do you find it hard because everyone just wants to get in a cart and just go full stick?
Yeah, I sort of got into it at the start of last year, running a small sort of team, and that's where I met Hudson and a few of our other young guys, and yeah, it's been a really rewarding sort of thing to get them up from being sort of mid pack runners to solid state runners, and some of them have gone on to do some cool things at national level. So yeah, it's I'm trying to sort of give back a little bit. I know I'm still young, but there's you can waste money very easily in motorsport, and I'm trying to show these kids and dads that you don't need to spend crazy amounts in karting, because there's a long journey ahead if you really want to get to the top of Australian motorsport or over to F1. You don't want to spend your money too early, or a lot of kids just want to do it flat out all the time. But schooling and education is something that is still important because you can learn so much. So yeah, I've loved it. It's been a great journey. Hudson's doing some really cool things, especially at national level this year. Me and him, we haven't got a podium yet, but to get a fourth place at round 2 there, and he'd never done the track before, was it's just so, for me, it's rewarding and a nice relaxing weekend at the track where there's a little bit less pressure.
Bit less pressure in it. You almost feel back like you're a fan again. Just that rush of like, oh, that's right. This is why we do it.
Yeah, no, exactly. I love it. I do find the races a little stressful because you can go pre-race, tell them little plans or suggestions on what to do, but as soon as they go out and track, they're in control, and I have no control. And yeah, sometimes it's great to watch. Sometimes you're like, oh dang, I wouldn't have done that. But yeah, it's a great time at the moment.
Oh, sounds awesome. Aaron, before I let you go, mate, I've got to ask this because we are getting towards the end of it's that time of the year where, you have to sort of focus on your future just a little bit. 2026, I mean, 2025 isn't what you expected it was going to be. Like, I fully didn't think that you'd be, well, I'm sure you didn't think, oh boy, it'd be great to be a full-time supercars driver as you're driving around Yas Marina in Abu Dhabi. Have there been any chats with Tim Blanchard about what your future might look like at BRT, or are you just enjoying the moment as it is and just eyes forward to what's ahead?
Yeah, I think I'm hassling him all the time at the moment. I know he's over in America, but I've still been texting him. But yeah, I'm probably in a good position where we've got James is going to retire, so definitely need someone for that seat. But yeah, I think I'm in a good spot to stay next year. And obviously, a lot of that just comes down to getting results. So definitely the last 2 rounds have been good, and if I can have another good finish to the season and keep the car ahead of James pretty much, I'm sure I'll be looking pretty good for next year.
And look, we saw just how much BRT sort of rocketed up after the technical alliance that you guys have with WAU, and obviously next year with T8 coming on board in Fords, it might just be that little extra special sauce you guys need.
Yeah, the Walkinshaw tech deal's been really good for us to step up, and then I don't know what Tim and BRT have got planned on that thing, but I would love to have a Triple Eight deal. Don't get me wrong, that'd be real nice.
I don't doubt that, mate. Aaron, it's been an absolute pleasure, mate. All the best. Enjoy your brief bit of time off that you had before you get cracking into the Enduros, and we'll chat soon.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for having me.